You're smart. You know how to listen to suggestion then make your own decision, right? Why on earth would you trust two Aussie brothers talking shit about cryptocurrency without doing any research? So don't take anything Brett or Chad say as gospel or truth. Do yourself a favor. Research the topic before doing anything financially. Now for that banging intro music.
Welcome to WTF is CryptoSpace. I'm Brett.
And I'm Chad.
This podcast is all about the crypto space.
Now, when you're out there in the crypto space and you're thinking about coming back, it's okay. Just get on that Lightning Network all the way back to where you were before. But don't worry, leave your money out there in the crypto space. You can get it at any time. It uses the same network as you do.
We now have 2,500 downloads, Chattels.
2,500?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Another big week. Thank you to all of our awesome new subscribers and downloaders this week.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to do a special shout out like we do.
Every week, it's the shout out.
A couple of things though, Chad.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a hectic global week for a lot of people.
A lot of people.
And so our thoughts are with all of those people that are in both
Texas.
the US
Yeah.
and also Mexico.
Yeah.
There is a few conflict areas that are happening across the globe as well at the moment, and a lot of people on very tender hooks
Places.
and
we really we do actually really think about you guys out there. So please be safe. Just be safe out there.
Because number 2 on our list of shout outs this week is to actually Houston, Texas.
Yeah, guys.
Which is impressive. So thanks, guys, because you've got a lot going on this week. So thanks for reaching out. Fort Lauderdale, number 1, and Islamabad, Pakistan.
Hey,
they jumped back on the list again. Welcome back, guys.
Yeah, welcome back. We've got we got Auckland, we got New York City, Moscow. And yeah, we've got so many people. Thank you, Australia, as well. So this week we're going to do, again, back to our normal format of just having a discussion and open discussion about stuff. So, Brett, what have you brought with yourself today, this week? Words.
Chad, insert words here.
Chad, word sets. Yeah.
So the first thought I had was that, from my perspective, why the news from China is only FUD.
What is FUD?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, we had talked about FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, Chad, which means it's just bullshit. Yeah,
so why? Because it was very interesting. They were talking about the ICOs last week and the fact that they are banning all of that. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but the thing is that no legislation has followed.
Okay.
No formal statement has come from the central Chinese party.
Okay.
So, no.
Okay. So, was that just a bunch of potentially Chinese papers or even
people like
American
to test things out, right?
Yeah.
You know, and if you can affect a market with language alone and you don't have to put policy in, then you don't have to go and spend all of your government resources to enforce these rules. All you do is just put it out there and say, hey, guys, we're going to go ghost hunting.
Okay.
You know, it's like...
Well, that sounds really exciting. That's nothing of what they actually did. Ghost hunting sounds super exciting. They basically dropped a market.
You look at some of the shots that they've got out there, right? Some of the publicity shots, and then it's like 18 people in a room in an IT
department.
Yeah, let's call it that. And then suddenly you've got something like 12 law enforcement staff looking over the top of them as they extract. Now, look, there is some definite advantage to having something like this come into place because it means that it will put the wind up those people who are trying to scam in the industry. And, we don't want that. You can go take those little things and shove them. But the thing is that, when you take all of this, the other side of that is that remember that China wrote Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
That's true. Look, and the main basically thing I took away from that was, first off, I need to learn how to speak Mandarin, and the second thing was, or Cantonese. The second part was that it's all about deception. So if you are weak, seem strong. If you are strong, seem weak. That's essentially like the entire book, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, and in this particular instance, like I said, they don't have to put the rules in. They can just go ahead and state where they plan to go. And at the moment, the crypto space is so small and so young that it's easier to manipulate it with the language because there's not enough invested people with a broad enough cache.
One thing that I will say is that does seem also similar to, and this is probably the last bit before we start the rest of the podcast, but there was a story of a guy who came back to his village, or London or something, maybe, but there was a story, a gentleman who was sent back as a messenger to a village said that the war is about to happen.
Yes, Napoleon.
And everyone sold up to him.
Napoleon.
And then, what was it? Who was it?
Yeah, so it was Napoleon. So what happened was that the Rothschilds found out the information about the correct outcome of the Napoleonic War a full 24 hours. Now that sounds like, 24 hours, that's ages, in today's society. But back then they had to have a horseman ride non-stop in order to have that information 24 hours ahead of their associates or their competitors. And so what they managed to do is they brought in the FUD. That is one of the early examples. Yes, very good, Chad. And then what they did was that they were able to short the market, and so such that they ended up buying back their own shares at maybe 15% of what they did. And not to mention they then bought out the Queen, and they anyway there's other bits and pieces, but
that's why we know what the name of the Rothschilds basically is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, that's one of their synonymous reasons, but yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that insider trading?
Well, no.
Or is that just...
Insider trading would have to be to do with the stock or share itself.
Yeah.
This is market manipulation.
Yeah. Which is exactly what China did, right?
In this particular instance, you got it.
Exactly. All right, next bit. So we're going to talk about Vertcoin for anybody out there in the Vertcoin universe or think about Vertcoin today. Brett wanted to bring up the topic of Vertcoin again because we talked about it last week. So, Brett, what have you got for us this week?
Well, there's a really great article out there by BTC Manager, and you can check it, and we'll link it down below. Mm-hmm. One of the things that is important for Vertcoin is, look, Vertcoin has a real great potential to skip it up to 2x or 3x by December 2017.
So you're saying 200% or 300%? Basically.
Yeah, potentially. Wow. Now, we can't say what we, it's hard to say.
We won't say. It's not that we can't, we just won't say because we don't want to influence the way you spend your money.
Exactly. But what we can do is we can give you some facts of what is going to happen or what has already happened in that space. Mm-hmm. And remember, Vertcoin has only 35 million units or tokens outstanding at the moment. Whereas, so there's a lot of room to grow it. It will have 80 million in its life, or 84 million in its life period. At the moment, it's only at the 35 mark.
So it's also a capped currency as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, like BTC,
cool. That's really cool. Or
like
LTC.
Or LTC.
Not unlike Ethereum, which Ethereum constantly adds new stuff to the market.
Mind you, and that's for another time, but mind you, there is something coming in with Eth3, which will be interesting. Okay. So the three things for Vertcoin are that the block reward halving is actually happening in December 2017. So.
Okay. And that's not us saying that. That's literally something we're getting this from this article, right?
No, actually, you're getting it from the Vertcoin website. So,
cool.
So
that's
the Vertcoin...
Even that's a first person instead of a second or third person.
You can tell you don't need verification because of how the block works. It's algorithmic. It'll come out in a certain time period, and as long as it's mined at the same speed as it determines you'll have an actual result of when it comes out. Awesome. So, now... BTC had its halving in 2016, June 2016. And okay. in the anticipatory period prior to it, it went up twice. like doubled.
Wow.
Now, okay, that's one piece of data. And then you say, okay, well, before the halving of LTC, you know, you've got all of these different bits and pieces. So there was the same sort of uptake. So actually, LTC went slightly better. It went from $1.63 to $8.96, which is more than 2x.
Yeah, that's like, let me quickly, at least 6.
But it did drop back down to, yeah, true, but it did drop back down to 3 and went stable,
but you
which
still
is only
made 100% basically.
Give or take, maybe
90%.
You know,
yeah.
Yeah. So you would have, if you'd had $1.63, you would have then had $3. If you had 163, you would have had $300. So there is potential, given the same style of coin it is. Because you think, okay, BTC positions itself as the gold standard for crypto, right?
Yes.
Now, LTC is very much the SLV, the silver of the crypto space. And Charlie Lee loves that term and he'll play it. And if the trend curve for that happens anything like I expect SLV to happen, happy days. It's going to be one happy time. But we'll see. The good thing about LTC is it's just steadily growing. And then you've got VTC. Well, with VTC...
Which is Vertcoin for anybody, again, that's a new one. So Vertcoin, VTC.
Absolutely. Well, James Lovejoy, sounds like he comes out of GTA 5, right?
Yeah, he does. Hey, I'm James Lovejoy. Do you want to go steal a car? Well, don't, because I'm a VTC man. Yeah.
And so with what he's done, I mean, he's positioned it as the people's coin, right? And so
he's like this is the rock of coins. This is the people's fist, the people's arm, the people's eye. This is the people's coin.
Yeah, and so then the halving is happening in December 2017. So that's something to be definitely look at. There's a psychological barrier. As soon as it kicks over that $1 psychological barrier and settles above it, game on.
Okay, cool.
So there's definitely potential. Now, that's not to say it will stay at that 2x mark, but like we pointed out, there is what's happening with the halving is that the difficulty is growing. And so for the difficulty is growing, there's less of them being produced each block period.
Okay, and also Vertcoin is sort of in this Lightning network that we were talking about last week as well, which is another point.
Well, they were actually ahead of LTC.
Okay.
Yeah, so and
so they're already on it.
They are. Absolutely. And the reason this is so important, and this is you always got to watch it when you say cool. Cool to me doesn't mean it cool to other people.
So sweet, awesome, goodness.
Absolutely. So
neat.
LTC and Vertcoin are looking at atomic swaps, and you can tell from the language and from how they're being communicating about this that this isn't too far away. Okay, within the next 6 months. And so that's a huge announcement. That'll be massive because if they do the swaps, and it's on Litecoin's roadmap, right?
Right.
Of atomic swaps. And atomic swaps is just being able to quickly move between currencies amongst people. And the reason this is important is something like all the FUD that's come out of China. If you wanted to jump or wanted to move and you had to pay the BTC cost to move, you could have jumped into LTC and had much less...
And sat there and waited for it all to die down and get back in.
Absolutely.
Or you could, if you're a smart investor, and again, I think we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but it's not investing. If you're a smart swapper, you are able to maybe watch it go down and then swap back in and make some money on the way back up again.
That is true, absolutely. Yeah.
Because everyone would have been jumping ship, yeah? They would have just jumping up the Titanic and realizing it's not the Titanic, it's just another cruise ship. They thought it was a Titanic and it was just another cruise ship.
They were just having a party and some people got drunk and they have to have the hangover. It's just as simple as that, Chad. It's not, it isn't any issue for the moment.
So Vertcoin is on the Lightning Network as well, so that's another advantage of reason why it potentially might go up, because it's going to be one of the forebearers of being the fast. And does that mean it might actually be one of the official ones? Because I think they're talking about Lightning Network on Litecoin and Bitcoin. This might be the third one or the fourth one?
Well, it's interesting language that you chose then, Chad. I mean, I guess the thing is because it's decentralized, the beautiful thing about the market is that it will just choose what it wants to use.
That's true.
However, if there's versatility to this product, right, and more people want to use it and embed it in their businesses to do transactions, then hell yeah, this is definitely something that's got potential. And then the final bit is that there's a commitment to what's called ASIC resistance, okay? Now, ASIC resistance is an interesting term because ASIC resistance means that the mining itself can be done through a one-click miner product.
Yep.
Which means that you on your laptop with lower hash power can go ahead and mine your own.
Now, I just pulled up the definition of that acronym. Is it acronym? I can't remember. Abbreviation. Acronym is a different thing that I don't even know about. It is an application-specific integrated circuit. So Absolutely. It's used massive in, like, it's high. It's used, and there's, like, you'll look at them, and it basically, if you are about standing 100 feet away on a wall of them, it basically looks like just a black kind of almost LED screen. But you get up close, they're all really small little chips. And the system, it's all in one system, and they're used specifically in things like Bitcoin mining and all that kind of stuff. So ASIC, an ASIC. So this is going to resist that. So it's going to be one clicking. Instead of needing all that power, you're going to only have to
so it's going to be far more effective, far more quicker network. We're going to move through these tokens a little bit faster. That
alone is a reason to jump on.
Well, the fact that you can access it as a fact. So think about this, right? If if VTC goes up in value and it goes up in price, then suddenly you can transfer that wealth into LTC or into BTC if it's moving at a pace faster than that of LTC and BTC.
Yeah.
So that is really something to look forward to. Just be mindful that it is in beta test, which means that it does have a little bit of time before it kicks over. But it is definitely looking positive for that. The next thing I wanted to add, and it's not in that article, is the fact that, and this is exciting for me personally because I use Nano Ledger hardware wallet as one of my products or one of my locations for addresses. The cool thing then is that Vertcoin has just been added.
Yeah, they just came up with their Twitter. I just looked at their Twitter and they've just literally
makes me happy.
pinned it today. It's pretty crazy.
And so definitely something to follow them on Twitter. Definitely something to follow the Vertcoin, which is at VERTCOIN. That's their Twitter handle.
A couple of the places that we actually get all our research from, Brett, Polonia X, which is also listed below, CoinMarketCap. What other websites have we been using?
Yeah, I use Bittrex as well. Is another good one to be able to use.
Yeah.
So that's something there as well. So that rounds it out, Chattels.
Just wanted to quickly step in and have a look at our famous celebrity Twitters. The reason why we're doing this is because last week we had Paris Hilton talk about cryptocurrency and things like that. And so we thought, hey, I've been trolling her through the week, trying to have a chat to her about cryptocurrency. Obviously no reply. She's too busy. But looking at her Twitter...
But Chad, doesn't she know that you're famous as well?
I am famous. That's right. I'm famous for stalking Paris Hilton. Anyway... Guys, it's been a pleasure having you, and thank you so much for listening. Like us once, comment twice, and share the link of our podcast on your social medias and websites. Brett, we are in the process of adding some sign-up forms to our CryptoSpace website at the moment, aren't we?
Absolutely, and there'll be more on that soon.
But if you guys want to sign up before we get that website, websites take a while. You can find our Facebook group by searching CryptoSpace. It's on there. Guys, drop us a link. Add yourself to the group. We have Brett updates that all the time. So you get lots of information about Vertcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. He also he will be adding his Instagram in there and adding his lunch and his dinner and his breakfasts. Remember, you can always tweet Brett at WTF CryptoSpace, and you can ask me questions or just add me, and then we can seem dumb together at Chad Shuttle Muso.
Remember, review this podcast and give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button.
Smack!
It really encourages us to keep going and keep doing these podcasts for your listening pleasure.
Yeah. Also, if you are on there, drop us a comment. Say hi. We love reading, and we're actually going to start reading out some of those comments on the program at the start of the program. So if you say hi, comment, be nice. Be nice. This is the internet, I know. Anonymity is very good. But if you're nice to us, we will mention you. If you're not nice to us, that's cool. Criticism, we can take that. Also, click subscribe to this podcast, either on YouTube or on your iTunes podcast feed, and you get the update from us, knuckleheads, every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. But until next time, I'm Chad.
And I'm Brett.
Let's get excited about the crypto space.
The transition has begun.
Do 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 do.